Winning a big game on the Ali Pali stage for the first time should be a springboard to bigger and better things for darts players, but the player we're going to take a look at today got a huge victory on the famous stage before seemingly disappearing from the professional game. Hello and welcome back to Darts World. In this video, we're going to take a look at the biggest World Championship one-hit wonder in recent memory and just what's happened to him since.
Jason Lowe, no relation to John, is an English player from Cradley Heath near Birmingham. Away from darts, he works as a builder for his brother's company, meaning he has no pressure to earn money from the professional game. Lowe first appeared in the PDC back in 2006 when he managed to reach the quarter-finals of a Players' Championship event where he whitewashed former World Championship semi-finalist Jamie Harvey before losing in a decider to Dennis Ovens. That year, he also attempted to qualify for the UK Open, where he got to the last 32 of the qualifier and was beaten 5-2 by James Wade, the Las Vegas Desert Classic, where he lost in the last 32, 4-1 against Raymond van Barneveld, and the PDC World Championships, where he lost 5-3 in the prelim round against Tom Kirby. Jason then went missing from the professional game for 8 years before appearing in the BDO World Championship qualifier in both 2014 and 15, where he went out in the last 64 and then the last 16. The 2015 edition saw him get within 2 wins of making Lakeside after whitewashing Ted Everts before losing 2-1 to Thomas Younghans. 2015 also saw him appear in the WDF World Masters for the first time, and he won 2 games comfortably to get through to the last 64 before being beaten by Danny Noppert. 2016 saw him step away from the professional side again, but at the start of 2017 he attended PDC Q School for the first time and failed to win a card. He also had a tough time at Q School in 2018, where he didn't make it past the last 64 once, meaning he failed to win a card again. But it was that year when everything began to change for him, and he made a mark in the PDC, first by reaching the semi-finals of a UK Open qualifier, where he beat multiple top players along the way, including Adrian Lewis and John Henderson, before losing in a close game against Jeffrey Deswan, who at that point was at the peak of his powers. That secured him a PDC major debut, and at Butlins Minehead, he won his first 2 games as the bookies' favourite against John Scott and David Airy, before losing 10-5 as the outsider against Hollywood Chris Dobie. Then, just 20 days later, there was another big moment in his career, as he reached the Challenge Tour final for the first time, winning 7 games before losing to Michael Barnard. That run, as well as his run to the semi-final on the next day, during which he posted an average of 102.9 in a win against John Bowles, meant that he shot up the Challenge Tour rankings and began getting invited as a call-up to Players' Championship events. He'd been meant to make his Players' Championship debut at the 7th event of the year, but he pulled out and instead debuted 2 events later when he managed to go on a great run to the semis, beating Chizzy and Adrian Lewis along the way. The win against Lewis came in the last leg decider, where he managed to take out 2-8-1 in 6 starts in a clutch moment, hitting a 1-3-9 and then 1-4-2 with AD sat on a double. He then lost to Scott Taylor 6-3 in a battle of the famous starting surnames. Then in the summer, he managed to beat James Richardson and Matty Dennant to reach a Eurotour for the first time, the European Darts Match Play. At the event in Hamburg, he managed to upset the odds in round 1, beating Keegan Brown, who averaged a ton, in a deciding leg with an average of 95 to set up a meeting with the number 7 seed Johnny Clayton. Jason led 5-4 against Johnny, and after missing match darts, the Ferret hit double 8 to force the decider. Clayton had the throw and was the first to finish, but missed 3 match darts at double 19, allowing Lowe to hit double 18 and get a huge win. He was then beaten comfortably 6-2 by Clayton's Welsh World Cup teammate Gerwyn Price. 2018 had been very encouraging for Jason, but it was then over a year after that Eurotour run until we saw him in the PDC again, with him not making any appearances in the 2019 season, and it wasn't clear where he'd gone. However, he was still playing away from the professional tour and won the Black Country Premier Darts League singles tournament for the 5th year in a row. Within the league, he also managed to hit a 10-dart leg and 12 180s. Then on the 9th of January 2020, he won a local knockout tournament held just a few days before the start of PDC Q School, which he'd entered. And on day 1 of Q School, he won 8 games, hitting 2 ton-plus averages along the way to secure a 2-year PDC Tour card, beating Steve Brown 5-1 in the decider. Following the win, Lowe said that he was totally shocked and revealed that he left his entry down to 1:30 on the final day when the deadline was at 2, showing just how last minute his decision was. When he returned to a local darts night, he was given a great reception.
Gentlemen, Jason Lowe!
In Players Championship 2, Jason won 3 games to reach the last 16, posting a great average of 105.77 in a win over John Henderson. He carried that good form over into the UK Open, where after 2 comfortable opening round wins, he managed to beat former champion Adrian Lewis 10-4 to move through to the last 16. Jason was then given a nightmare draw against MVG, and he was an 8-1 outsider with B-win, with MVG at 1.07. And it was predictably Michael who got the better start, taking out 116 to go into the first break with a 5-0 lead. However, in the next mini session, Jason managed to win 5 legs in a row, taking out 104 to draw the game level into the second break. Following the break, he won 4 of the following 7 legs to go 9-8 up, and just 1 leg away from an unthinkable win. Michael then managed to force a decider, and Jason got to the finish first, but he missed the big number on 86, meaning that he didn't get a match start, allowing Michael to get the win in a tight contest. He performed well in the floor tournaments for the rest of that year, averaging 93.9, the 30th highest of any player, securing an Ali Pali debut. At the Worlds, he got a favourable round 1 draw against Russia's Dmitry Gurbanov, and he won 6 of the first 7 legs to go 2 sets up. Dmitry then surprisingly won a set and took set 4 to a decider, which Lowe won to get an expected win in a poor game where he averaged just 86. Next up for him was a tough tie against number 4 seed Michael Smith, and he was the obvious outsider at 5.5, with Smith the big favourite at 1.16. However, it was Lowe who shockingly got the much better start, winning the first 6 legs to go 2-0 up, with Smith having only had 2 darts at double. Michael then won set 3 in a decider, with Lowe sat on double 14 for the match, making it 2-1. Jason then won set 4 3-0, taking out 101 to get a shock 3-1 win against Bully Boy. Lowe had averaged 96 with a brilliant first 9 of 109. Following the win, he revealed that he only entered Q-Skill after a literal coin toss, and that he knew he could beat Smith when he heard him shouting himself. He failed to back that up, and in the following round, his average fell to 88 in a 4-0 whitewash loss against Evan Peterson, who averaged just 91. In 2021, his Players Championship average fell slightly to 93.12, the 41st highest of any player, and he didn't qualify for either Euro Tour, but managed to qualify for the Players Championship finals, where he missed the dart at double 18 to go 4-1 up against Gerwyn Price before going on to lose 6-3. His slight dip in form meant that he only made it back to Ali Pali through the 32nd and final qualifying position on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He won his first game back on the big stage, 3-0 against Daniel Larson, who averaged in the 70s. Following the game, he revealed how his work had been getting in the way of him practicing enough, contributing to his poor form in the second half of that year. In round 2, he managed to go 2-0 up on number 7 seed Jose de Souza, and was looking like he was going to cause another Ali Pali upset by beating a seeded player. But Jose then won the next 3 sets without needing a 5th leg to get a 3-2 win and knocked Jason out. The 2022 season saw Jason's average fall even further to just 90.88, the 86th highest of any player, and he only reached the last 32 of an event once. He also missed 7 of the 30 Players Championship events and posted some concerning averages towards the end, including a 76.13 and a 6-1 loss to Boris Kritschmar. After not making a Euro Tour all year, he qualified for the final one of the season, the Gibraltar Darts Trophy, where he averaged just 80 and an easy 6-0 whitewash win against home nation qualifier Manuel Valero. In round 2, he went 5-2 down to Dirk van Dijvenbode before managing to force the deciding leg, which he lost. He then lost in the first round of the final floor event of the season, the PDPA World Championship qualifier, meaning that he missed out on Ali Pali and lost his tour card. He's not played in the PDC since and didn't enter Q-School in 2023. So where's he gone? Well, he's continued to play locally in the Black Country and was a qualifier for the UK DA National Finals last year. However, He then didn't play in Q School again at the start of this year. He's had some averages on Dart Connect this year from Super League. He's averaged 79 overall, and in his most recent game, he posted his first 90 average in a while. If this tweet is to be believed, Jason's been struggling with a shoulder issue, but I can't confirm this.
It would be great to see Lowe back on the professional stage one day, but even if we don't, he had a great moment and a huge win on the biggest stage of them all. If you've enjoyed this video, please let me know any other forgotten players you want me to take a look at. And if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, as it really helps the channel out.
Currently, just 15% of my viewers are. Also, hit a like if you enjoy this style of darts videos.